Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite dark sorcerer here. And tonight I want to talk to you a little bit about basic maintenance and self care. Now, what does this mean exactly from a practitioner standpoint? Well, let's just take a look at something real fast. Let's take your everyday life. Say, for example, your job. How much pressure, stress, and negative dogma do you deal with in a run of a day? Okay, just a run of a day. Okay, now multiply that by, say, 10 years. You'd be pretty much sluggish. You would be pretty much tired all the time. Okay, wondering what is it that you got to do to get out of that slump, that slump. So, when we're talking magic, sorcery, one of the things you got to take into consideration is basic maintenance. Okay. It is the exact same thing. Eventually, you're going to have to come to terms with certain things and figure out, okay, how do I deal with this? Okay. And this is for you rookies out there, the keyboard warriors and those who sit back and just follow. Think of protections. Think of ritual baths, things that will cleanse your aura. Think of working with your chakras, your kundalini, you know, bringing things back into alignment. You see, this is basic maintenance right here where this is stuff that you can do through ritual, through ceremony, daily meditations. Okay, this is just stuff that you can do daily, about, say, 20 minutes a day. It's basically all you need. About 20 minutes. You can go longer. It's up to you. I've been known to go into my altar room and come out 3 hours later. So, but it comes down to what your body needs and what you need. You see, the spiritual body is made up of three aspects: your core, your your inner core, self, and then you have your spirit. Think of this as mind, body, spirit. Okay, same exact thing. You got to clear your mind. You got to refresh it and deal with all those minor or massive traumas that you deal with on a run of a day. Okay, just on a run of a day. The emotional, physical, okay, applications. Okay, you think about what your job or your online activities do to you, especially when you're in a ritual or a ceremony. Doesn't matter if you're with a coven or you're just solitary in general. Just picture, what is it that you're feeling during those times? By the time you get in there to do this stuff, you'd be tired, exhausted, you'd be mentally drained, emotionally unstable. You may have thoughts of what's the point, or, you know, just ready to just call it quits. So let me tell you a little bit about something here. Over the last year, the last couple of years, just in my job alone, the job that I do Sunday through Wednesday, okay, it's a part-time job. I work for a fast food restaurant, Dunkin' Donuts, okay. I have seen my boss have a heart attack. He ended up having a triple bypass. I've seen, I don't know how many employees come and go during this time because they couldn't hack it. They've worked themselves literally to death. And as close as last week, we were down to maybe three, maybe four people. Okay. And that was just if we were lucky to have that fourth person. Sunday, We had a team member walk out because he got into a confrontation with a team lead. Following day, morning, I woke up to a message from my team lead saying, I quit. I had issues with my phone, you know, type thing. But I quit. Now, just a message like that, I mean, it kind of gets you thinking. You thinking about your phone and then you quit with the phone or what? Because there's a lot of things that go along with that. Okay. So it wasn't until I got into work that I found out, okay, it's literally three of us for an entire week. I'm Sunday through Wednesday. We got this one closer. She's got a broken arm, broken wrist rather. And then you got the other team lead that goes from Wednesday to Saturday, and then he works Sunday morning. This is going to be fun. I wonder how we're going to do this. But then, wait for it. Following day, come into work. This is last Tuesday. A former employee that quit about a month or so ago is finally coming back. She worked one day. But hey, she hasn't been back since, at least that I know of. But the thing is that she's also working at a different place. But she's looking to get done at that other place to come back to Duncan. So when you're dealing with roughly about 70, anywhere between 60 to 80 people in an hour, okay? In an hour. And that's just through drive-through. Okay. This really is frustrating, especially with such limited personnel. Emotions are flaring, frustration is going, your moods are going, you know. And if you got mental illness, guess what? Like, say, a bipolar, maybe, some form of Tourette's or whatever, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Where you have these outbursts of anger, you have all of this emotional to the point where you're just ready to say, fuck it, I'm done. Okay. I've seen this so many times. So we've had literally people coming in the last 2 days of my shift from other stores, literally other stores. Okay. Have to come in and help us out because we've got nobody else. Okay. Like I said, it was like two guys and maybe a 98-pound girl with a broken wrist. But my point is there, it's that frustration, it's that exhaustion. You're physically exhausted, you're mentally and emotionally drained. This is the type of thing that you need to be wary of. So, how do you deal with this? Well, I'm going to tell you. You can go in, put in for a vacation, but you're not going to get it at that point, especially if you have limited people like we do. But from what I understand, this is also not just at Duncan, it's also at a lot of other places. So the next best thing is to go into your ritual room, literally into your ritual room, and meditate. Put it, a Christian once said, lay it on the altar. Just lay it on the altar and leave it there. Okay? This was an apostolic that I once knew. Okay? It's taken me years to figure that out. Just that alone. I mean, when your boss looks at you and says, you really need to learn how to relax, okay? You need to learn how to relax. I haven't had a vacation in like personnel to even be able for me to do that. And then the state takes away paid vacation. So guess what? That's gone. So, and then on top of that, people just are leaving. So you can see the frustration on my part. You can see the anger and the hatred that's going to build up because you're dealing with it's like an endless supply of people. I refer to them as addicts, okay, because caffeine is a drug. Okay, it's a legalized drug, but it's there. Okay, and I mean when you get people ordering like 6, 7 different drinks in one setting, you got like two people on the floor. That's it. I mean, what are you going to do, right? So you come home, you can deal with your family if you wish, if you got the patience for it, or you can just come home and just, I've had this happen where I've come home. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to be around anybody. So I just came in, stripped off my work clothes, got into my lounge stuff, and I just went into the altar room and lit the candles, the incense, got up in my chair, got into, Indian style, and just put myself into a meditative state. You know, meditation is one of the main keys in occultism today. Okay. And it works. You work on the breathing. There's an old occult saying, you bring in energy with your right and you dispel it with your left. Okay. The right is for taking and giving, the left is strictly for taking. Okay. But when you're channeling that energy through your breathing, you're literally inhaling the positive and dispelling that negative. Okay. You're just dispelling it. All right. But there are also other tools that you can use as well, mantras, while you're working on your kundalini, your chakra. Okay. Bringing your equilibrium back into balance. Hermetics is known for this because it has the depiction of the world tree. Okay. The different stages. It's 10 spots that you can work your way down and then work your way up. Think of it as the tower card within, let's say, for an example, tarot cards. Okay. Tower card. For anything to be built, for you to create something, you must first tear it down or destroy it. Okay. Now, the tree of life within the Hermetics, the Kabbalah, literally depicts this. And it's a great example of how you work with this stuff, where you can start at the top, work your way down, and then start creating as you're going back up. You can work with spirits to help you. If you're into voodoo or the African Caribbean based, you're dealing with your ancestry. You're dealing with the Loa or the Orisha. Okay, these spirits can actually help you dispel these energies. Okay, some are there like Santa Morte, who are there for protection, for guidance, for healing. You know, in demonology, there's actually spirits that are good for healing. Okay, there's spirits that are good for destruction, destroying desires, you name it. It's all there. You just got to know where to look and to know your stuff. Okay. So you can even do cleansing spells. You can do cleansing baths. I recommend bath, warm bath of sea salt. One of the best things that I work with is I work with sea salt because it's the most purest stuff on earth. You got ground cinnamon, which is a healing thing. It's a healing herb. And then you have paprika, which is good for drawing out negative stuff like poisons. Okay. And when you mix all three of these together in a bath, you can literally soak in it. Okay. And while you're soaking, you can light some incense, light a candle, have it off in the distance there, over in a corner if you have that little location on the tub. I like to put it down by my feet so I can actually just lay there and gaze right into the flame. Okay, you got the incense mixing with it. It's an incredible view, and then you got that little shine that comes from it on the shower walls. So I mean, it's a great thing to help you relax, to focus, and to channel. And all you have to do from there is simply work on your breathing. Relax, let the water do its thing. You got to submerge every aspect of yourself, but it's there. It's kind of like how should I say this? A magical redo. Okay. Other things you can use sage. White sage is my favorite. Okay. I like doing rituals with white sage. I go into my altar room. I go into my ritual room, and I'll light some sage. My better half hates it. She hates that smell, but I love it. It's great. You light the candles, you light the, say for an example, sandalwood or amber. I love the amber incense. Okay. The amber incense is something that will help you get into that mood. My last video, I did a video on set and settings. Putting yourself into that setting. When you visually see that setting, it helps your mind go into it. Okay. It's just a matter of working your way into it through a mantra or meditation. You can even do a chant, depending on what path working you're doing. Wiccans and pagans, they're big for their chants. They love to chant, they love to sing, they love to dance. Just too bad they do it like children. But to each their own. But my point is, there are methods that you can use to help you with basic maintenance, self-care. You want to reset the clock, if you wish, on yourself. That's why I recommend the spiritual bath, the incense, okay, relaxation, meditation, mantras, breathing exercises, okay. But there's something else that you can do. I like to go to Walmart, go into the candle aisle where the incense is, and I pick up dragon's blood, myrrh, and frankincense. Okay, one stick of each is all you need. Put them together, light them, go throughout your home. Okay, right there, you're creating a protective bubble. Okay, a protective bubble around your home. This means every vent, every doorway, every window. Okay, anything, any entrance that comes into your home, your apartment. If you're on a different floor from the ground, don't worry about going outside. Okay? Do not worry about that. Just do the inside of your home. Okay? One of the things I would recommend if you do that, though, is I would recommend doing both sides of the doorway. Okay? You can do any symbology that you wish with a mantra. In nomine dinastri satane luciferi excelsi, for an example, as you're doing an inverted pentagram with the incense stick, then turn to the other side and do the exact same thing. Every door, every vent, every window. Okay. Certain powders like gopher dust, for an example, you can lay that down by the door. Okay. It prevents negative influence, such as demonic influences or whatever. Now, if you're like me and you work with demons, you don't have to worry about that. But for those of you who are afraid of demons and working with demonic entities, that's something for you to do. Okay, right there, just put it right by the door. Sea salt across the window ledges. You know, things like that that will help you. Now, there's also packets that you can do, sachets, mojo bags, griscris bags. Okay, these things you can have all kinds of different herbs in. Okay, some of the greatest herbalists, like say, oh, I don't know, let's go with Scott Cunningham for an example. Scott Cunningham has a few books on herbalism, and he's, in my opinion, was and still is the foremost leading expert in herbalism today. He has a book called I want to say it's the Book of Shadows. It's called the Book of Shadows. It's a green book with some symbols on it, and it's by Scott Cunningham. His In this book, you'll find herbs and methods of using them, and not just that, but also things like licorice, catnip tea, flowers, rose petals. You're going to find a whole sorts of things that you can use not only for self care but also self maintenance. Okay, Wicked in the Kitchen by him is pretty good as well because you learn about fruits, you learn about vegetables and their characteristics of what they can do for you from a magical perspective. He breaks them down into categories, male and feminine energies. He labels them so you know what's poisonous, what's non-poisonous, and what is well, let's just call it G-rated and leave it at that for herbs. Okay, so there's a lot that you can do, and there's a lot that you can undergo. You just have to know where to look and put the time and effort in. Okay, my bosses love me. I'm on good terms from the owner all the way down to the store manager, the ASM, you know, and one, if not three, of the team leads. You know, out of the four, because one actually left. Two in the morning, and we had two in the afternoon, but now we're down to one in the afternoon and two in the morning. So, like I said, when you get into that mind state and you get into that self care, that self, the basic maintenance aspect, you're going to see a lot of things coming into fruition. Okay. And this will actually create a firm foundation within all other aspects of your life. Okay. I'm talking a balanced mind, calm, reflective, and you'll know when this stuff is working because when everybody else is freaking out, you're calm as a cucumber. Okay. You'll notice it. Believe me, I know. Tonight I had to do this for myself. I watched a video by my teacher. Okay. My elder, about what was it, about a day or two ago, that he had posted right here on YouTube. And he was talking about some of this stuff, and it actually resonated with me. It was just like, right there. It was like that little whisper, you need this. Okay. And you know what? You'll learn to identify these things when it's like something is resonating with you, that you need it. So I went out. I did not find the one topic, one item that I needed. Nobody in my area has it. So I'd have to order it online, which I did tonight. But too bad it was after the ritual and that I did today. And what's ironic about that is tonight I did a complete cleansing of myself so that I can start taking in pure knowledge, wisdom, okay, and start my growing and learning again because I had so many blockages because of work. I was frustrated, moody, tired, and you know what? I'm right there with just about every single one of you. Last year was hell. Okay, this year is still that way, but at least this year is actually going by pretty quick, at least so far. So after I got done that, I decided, you know what? Let's put out some shielding, some wardings, and I ended up doing some wardings and some shielding and stuff like that, and some root workings within that area. And I just let the candles burn down. I just let them just burn out. And I noticed as soon as I got out of the ritual room, it was like a whole different atmosphere. I didn't notice it right up at first. I had come out here, I sat on the couch, started playing my Xbox One. It's late at night. It's like 11:30. I'm sitting here and I'm just playing. It's like I'm relaxed. It's like somebody just hit that easy button, and it was all that tension and hostility is just gone. You know, it's awesome. You really need to do this stuff, and it really does work. You may not see it, but others do. Others will see it if you don't, and they'll let you know. Sometimes you'll watch a video and it's like, uh huh, I get the message, I get the point. Other times it's, and I really need to do a reset. I need a spiritual bath. I need to go in and meditate, regroup, refocus myself. I got 3 days off that I teach, I study, I practice, I deal with my apprentices and my clients. And then the rest of the week, I'm dealing with, well, let's just put it the way it is, 70 cars an hour. That's roughly about three, 400 people in a 6 hour time. That's a lot of people to deal with when you only have two people on the floor, maybe three, if you're lucky. So trust me, I'm right there with you. All right. But these are just some tips and some pointers for you to do. Okay. Like I said, Scott Cunningham, if you want to get into the herbal aspects, he's got a book called the Encyclopedia of Herbs and Herbalism. He's got Wicca in the Kitchen. You got, what's that other one? The Magical Herbs. I think it's called Magical Herbs. And this one here actually breaks it down into the planet. It talks about the male and feminine energies, the currents, what it can do from a magical perspective, stuff like that. But the Encyclopedia of Herbs and Herbalism by him, very, very good. I recommend that hands down. And he literally puts in drawings of each of these things. He goes into a lot of detail, things that you don't see today. Okay. He died, I want to say, back in 97, around 30 to 40 years old. So I would recommend going out and getting his books and delving into it. Paul Huzon is another one called Mastering Herbalism. He doesn't go into a lot of detail, but he only speaks on a few things when it comes to herbalism. So he's basically would be classified as in my opinion, the second best. Now, the Complete Book of Witchcraft by Raymond Buckland, he's got like 20 pages of herbs and herbalism from a medical perspective. So, I mean, go with it. I'd recommend those ones hands down. That's just about everybody I would recommend on herbalism today. So, with that said, I hope this has been a good video for you. Hope you're learning a lot. I noticed while I was talking that Pharaoh Stiller actually put a message up and then retracted it, and I did read it. So if you're gonna put something up, grow a pair and leave it. Just saying. But otherwise, what's the point in doing it? Okay. But I want to thank you guys for listening. I want to thank you for tuning in with me. For those of you who are actually following and liking my things, and I really want to thank you for even becoming subscribers. That's if you are subscribers. I'm not twisting anybody's arm or telling you what to do. I'm not in it for fame. I'm not in it for fortune. I'm not in it for popularity or numbers. I do this because it's something that I like doing. I like teaching. I like sharing my own personalized experiences. So, especially if it's going to help you. All right. So, have a good one. Have a good night. And until next time, I'm out.